Welcome back to the Goal Getter Life. Today, I'd like you to meet a lady who is going to give you a new perspective on aging. There she is. Oh, hi, Joy. How are you?
Good to see you.
This is Joy Brown. Wait till you find out about her. Oh my God.
Let's go, Joy! Come on, don't stop!
Hi, my name is Joy Brown. I'm 72 years old. I'm a power lifter and writer. Well, I bought into society's story about how you're supposed to age, and I thought you'd just get weaker and weaker and eventually be put into a home. So when my grandson went off to fire school, I was horrified because I thought I'd have to do everything around here myself, and I wouldn't be able to. He said I could get stronger, and I did. I went and got into powerlifting and became a competitive power lifter, which far exceeded my need to just lift up a water jug or shovel the driveway. So now, if you don't weigh more than 162 pounds, I can deadlift you. I've come to realize and feel that I need to tell people that the message society has given us is wrong. We don't have to just get older and weaker. That's a mistaken notion. I'm stronger now than I was when I was 20. It doesn't have to be weightlifting. You could do other fitness things, but that's not entirely true, because resistance training is like critical to your bone mass and your joints and your general body strength. One amazing thing about weightlifting is that it builds your natural growth hormones. It stimulates your natural growth hormones. So you sleep more, and that's when growth hormones are produced. And then when you wake up, you have this enormous amount of energy. So it's better than our society advertising that you should go and buy growth hormones or be on drugs. That's another thing I learned, is that our society really promotes pharmaceuticals as an answer to everything. Our society has told us that we cannot tolerate any kind of pain. So the minute your muscle squeaks, you run and take a Tylenol or whatever. That's a really destructive message they're giving us, and I personally think it's the pharmaceutical companies are making a fortune by giving it to us. So in the meantime, by getting into a community of people who are involved in building their own strength, you come to understand pain in a different way. It's a threshold to becoming better, to becoming stronger, to achieving goals. So you go into it like a warrior instead of like a squeamish old woman. Like you go in and you bite the bullet and you do it, and you come out with a fantastic attitude and muscles. So, this is the scene of the crime. I'm working on my third book right now, another collection of poetry called Grip Event. And this is the second book that's based on my sport. I write everything on paper first, and then I put it on the computer to edit, and then finally store. So it's like a 3-phase process. This morning I was writing about the similarity between the Plains Indians and the strongmen, and the fact that the Plains Indians used a handprint to channel strength, and on their faces or on their bodies before they went into a battle. And strongmen, if you watch them, they have to chalk up their hands before they lift. So they're usually covered with, you know, a white chalk print on their ass or their chest or wherever they happen to touch. So there's a very, very strong connection between handprints on your body and channeling strength. So today's poem was White Handprint. I get up really early, like around 5 o'clock. I'm a farm girl, and it's never changed. Like, I cannot get my biological clock changed. So I get up at 5. I come down, I feed the dogs, put the dogs out, come back in, empty the dishwasher, go back upstairs with a cup of coffee, watch the news, come back down showered by 6:30, and then I start writing. The first time I found out, well, I was in the shower and I thought, oh my God, I have breast cancer. And then I felt across my whole chest, and it was symmetrical. And it went down under my arms, the hard went down under my arms. And then I realized I had pecs. I couldn't believe it. I just threw open the shower curtain and came out of there like a gladiator. So it makes you think about your body completely differently. It makes you understand that pain is growth, and it's not something to run terrified from. I realized this one day when I was sitting with a bunch of kids. We were having lunch, and they were all 20, 30 years old. And one girl was mentioning, oh, you know, like my hip really hurts because I did whatever, squats or something today. And I looked at her, I couldn't believe it. I said, your hip hurts? She says, oh yeah. Oh, and everybody said, oh yeah, you know, they always hurt after squat. And I thought, oh my God, I thought it was because I was just old. So we have to be careful of words. We have to be careful of vocabulary as we age. Like there's trigger words that we've been trained to snap around to and say, oh, it's because we're old. Oh, we ache, we creak. When you get up, you moan or groan. You don't have to do that. It's okay. Like those characteristics of being old were trained into us. We don't have to accept them. I no longer buy into society's definition of female beauty. To me, female beauty is strength. And I know that by my age, 99% of us are all strong emotionally. We've all been tested by life, so we've got that down. But 99% of us were not encouraged to build our muscles, to become strong, to feel really strong. And it's one thing to feel mentally and emotionally strong. A lot of us have that. Yes, I've got that. I'm fine. But to actually be able to feel your physical strength, you know, to touch your muscles, to know that you could pick somebody up and carry them if you had to, no problem, is unbelievable.
Come on, Joy. Push that ground hard. Pull. Squeeze to finish. Squeeze. Good. Good job.
I feel empowered in all ways, finally. You know, I didn't even know I could feel like this. I did not know. No one told me. I was telling my coach when I went to school, girls weren't allowed to wear long pants. we only could wear dresses, and we'd have to wear snow pants over our dresses when it was really cold. When I went to school, girls were told to be careful, not hurt themselves, whereas boys would just run pell-mell into danger, you know, scratching, breaking, doing everything. I have to undo 70-something years of conditioning to get to where I am. And it's worth every bit of it. It's absolutely worth every bit of it, because the feeling you have of your own strength is astounding. And you'll never know it as a woman until you start. And all you need to do is start. It took me a couple weeks to get to a point where I could actually go to a gym. And you can start in your home. If you don't have 2-pound weights, use soup cans and just do different kinds of presses. You can go on Google and find out how to do overhead presses, flies, things like that. And just do them until it becomes so easy you can do a dozen at a time, and then you up the weights.
Big pull.
Push that ground. Keep
Go, 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 go!
The other thing is forgetfulness. 20-year-olds will come into the kitchen and not know what they came in for because they only got 4 hours of sleep, or they were up all night drinking. Or, see, we think when we walk into the kitchen, oh my God, we're getting Alzheimer's. But we have to, you know, we have to stop buying into the narration that our society has given us. Every time we feel pain, every time we forget something, every time, it's not necessarily because we're old. We have to rethink this. Like, kids are doing the same thing. You have to communicate with them to start realizing that they're feeling the same things. They're going through the same things. They just don't associate it with age. And we don't have to associate it with age. It's okay. We're just human. And, you know, sometimes I only get 4 hours of sleep, so I forget stuff. It's okay. The whole concept of being in a community with younger people is critical. Like, you have to learn the vocabulary of our society. You have to learn the technology of our society. You have to become part of this society if you want to remain mentally young, not just physically young. Physical youth is, you know, a fact of life. Whether, you know, as much as you have or not is irrelevant. You determine that by how you feel. Find your tribe. Find, you know, a group that will bring you up, bring you to be a better person. And I mean, I found my tribe in this sport. There's other sports, other things, but if you really are chronologically 60, 70 years old, resistance training is probably the best thing you can go into. You can actually reclaim your body's function and its peak at 72, and no lie.
Squeeze hard. Good. Breathe, push. Oh, squeeze. Good. Again. Let's go. Big breath in. Push the ground. Good. Awesome. Again. Big breath. Push that ground. Squeeze hard. Good job. Good.
For more everyday strategies on how to be your best and live an awesome life, subscribe to this channel, comment, like, and share it with anyone you think might benefit. I'm Cindy Canor, and until next time, the best in me recognizes and honors the very best in you.